Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Nazar Sayed, and today we're going to be talking about the books I got from Karachi. So I bought a lot of books from Karachi when I went to Karachi this winter. I got some of them as gifts, some of them I bought from Liberty Books itself, and now we're going to dive deep into them and see what I got. Shout out to Liberty Books for the tote bag. Honestly, I've forgotten what I've bought as well. Also, not a MAGA hat. This is a Forrest Gump hat. I got it from Bubba Gump. Alright, so the one thing that I really wanted to do when I went to Karachi this time was I wanted to really improve on my Urdu. So I bought a couple Urdu novels as well, and let's start with them. The first one I'm going to start with is not an Urdu novel or an Urdu short story book. It's actually a book of poetry by Amjad Amjad. It's called Sapnay Baat nahi Kartay, which translates to Dreams Don't Talk, which is funny because my poetry collection that I wrote that just came out this winter, it's called A Dream Is All I Need to Get By. So I am really interested to dive deep into this. This was given by my friend Rida. Can't wait to read this. Amjad Amjad is one of my favorite poets as well. My house is a very poem-centric house. We really talk in riddles and poetry a lot. So I can't wait to dive deep into that. So thank you, Rida, for that. The next book that I bought for myself was Saadat Hasan Manto's Siyaah Hashiye. And it's a short story collection by Saadat Hasan Manto, who is a pre-partition short story writer who wrote about women's issues, a lot of issues regarding poverty, nationalism, just partition itself. He's one of those partition writers that people still study to this day. And I really wanted to dive deep into his work and not his translated work. I really wanted to know what he sounds like in the language that he writes in. So I bought this. And lastly, I bought Nimrah Ahmed's Iblees. Now, this was recommended to me by my cousin. She reads a lot of Urdu novels, and I told her to get me something that would be accessible and yet a proper novel. Like, this is about, it's 160 pages, and I've heard really good things about her. A lot of her novels have turned into hit Pakistani dramas as well. All of these books were bought from Liberty Books, by the way, not sponsored, but should be. The next book I got was also a gift from my friend Rida, RFS, shout out RFS. It's called The Spinner's Tale by Umar Shahid Hamid. I really wanted to read a lot of local Pakistani authors, so that's what I focused on. This was all obviously a gift, but I know that Rida knows me enough to know that I'm kind of inclined that way, and it worked out. I am really excited to read it. I don't think I've read a lot of Pakistani authors apart from probably Mohsin Hamid. So I'm really excited to dive deep into the stories that my home country has to tell, because I am also writing a novel based on my home country. I don't want to misrepresent anything, and that's why I am really inclined on reading a lot of Pakistani authors in the next year. Speaking of Pakistan, I wanted to dive deep into the history of Pakistan as well. I wanted to understand why it is the way it is and how did we get from 1947 to 2022. So I bought Pakistan, A Hard Country by Anatol Leivan. It's just a biography. It's just a history book on the different divisions of Pakistan. The other history that I've read of Pakistan is Pakistan, A History by Imran Khan, which is a memoir stitched with Pakistan's history. So it was interesting to read that, but this is probably just a history of the country that I'm more interested in. Again, trying to understand a lot of Pakistani literature, I did not just rely on reading Urdu books because there is a language barrier for me. I do speak the tongue, I do write in it, I do read in it, but my fluency in Urdu is not the same as it would have been if I were living there or if I were consuming Urdu literature. So for my own benefit, I got The Greatest Urdu Stories Ever Told, translated by Muhammad Omar Maiman. These have some of the best and some of the most well-known Urdu stories that are out there. Just in the contents, if I scroll through some of the names, and if you're familiar with Urdu writers, you would really understand who I'm talking about. So Ashfaq Ahmed, Munshi Premchand, Saadat Hasan Manto, Rajendra Singh Bedi, Ghulam Abbas, Abdullah Hussain, Jamila Hashmi. These writers are well attuned to the Pakistani and Urdu literature, and I cannot wait to dive deep into their stories to see what they're all about. And lastly, I did what I always do, which is I buy a Murakami book whenever I travel. This one is Kafka on the Shore. I bought it from Liberty Books again. It was actually interesting why I bought it. This is actually cheaper in Pakistan than it is here. I think I bought this for 1100 rupees, which translates to about $9. And I'm pretty sure this is about $15 to $20 here in Toronto. So that was one of those things that I was very inclined on getting just because of the price point. I've read a couple of Murakami's. One of them I really liked, one of them I did not like at all. So this might break the tie of is Murakami for me or not. I don't know if I'll continue the tradition of buying his books whenever I travel. If I love this, then obviously it will continue. But if I don't, then this might be the last Murakami I buy. I know. It's very stressful. So there it is, guys. These are all the books I got from Pakistan this time around. I am really excited to dive deep into them, especially the Urdu ones. And I can't wait to better my Urdu and make it more tangible for me. It could be an asset for me. There are stories written in Urdu that are only accessible in Urdu. And I feel like I'm letting myself in on a secret if I access those stories, because not a lot of them have been told in the Western world. I feel the responsibility and the duty to tell those stories the best way that I can. Urdu literature is very, very underrated. It currently is going through what all the other major languages in the world are going through because of the colonization and the widespread Englishization of the world, coming to that one language, which is English. A lot of local languages, a lot of native languages are being wiped out, and that's why I felt responsibility towards myself to educate myself in my native language. That's why I bought these books. I will be reviewing at least the Urdu ones together in a separate video. Whenever I finish them, you will see it on my channel. My new book, A Dream Is All I Need to Get By, is also out on Amazon and on my website. You can check that out. All the links that I'm talking about will be below. And if there's anything that you want to see from me, please let me know and I will try my best to get through to them. My name is Siyaah. I'm a writer and a poet from Toronto. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.